We are live. What is going on? Daniel Nottingham, you're first. Welcome. Food Mooch, how are you? Jim Drina. Roscoe. This just in from South Carolina. Yukon. Brian Garner, Pale Rider. Screaming Demon. Everything's fine, guys. Everything is fine. I've been home since Thursday. Angel P, Daniel Adami. Daniel Adami, you're not first. So, really don't have a topic tonight, unless you guys want to create one. Brent, Florida, how are you? It's me, Gary, because I know how to say that. Daniel Adami, what's up? LOL, I know. So, Edward, what's up?
Hi.
My son's name's Edward. So, let's see here. Tablets and trucks, good or bad, Jim Drina? Well, it depends what you're using them for. There was a video that was posted on Facebook. Guy had one of those rack mount things that go across. I think Matt Issa was advertising them for a while. I forget what they're called. And he had every single device you could have. He had this tablet, his phone, an extra phone, like camera. He had everything. And he's talking about checking his Facebook while he's going down going down the road, But I use a tablet. I used a tablet for booking my loads when I was with Landstar and Snyder. Snyder, the app was really, or not the app, but the mobile website was really great. And but here, I've only been using my phone. The tablet's mainly for Netflix because my tablet's so old it doesn't have the capabilities to handle the 123 low board and the DAT board. So I was involved in an accident, says David Riverman. An Indiana dump truck T-boned me, ran a stop sign, totaled truck trailer. Man, David, hate to hear that. Hope you're alright. Hopefully insurance will cover everything else. So, Jim, I like having a tablet in the truck. I also have a Nook that I get magazine subscriptions for. Kind of keeps down on the paper. But I haven't used that in a while. So, home rates are up. You're not going to make money with the truck parked and left door open. Yep. I agree, Benjamin Duke. I was fighting my hours, and I got things to do at home. So, Food Mooch, it's warm and sunny. Well, it's dark now, but it's like, it feels like July is actually what it feels like. June. Siraj, what's up? Couches that fold out, bragging rights. You talk about W9 Studio Sleeper with the couch fold out. So Ride, hello, how's it going? Oh, tables. Oh, okay. I don't know how to read. I have a table in my truck. I have the T680s. The table swivels around. Although I very rarely use it, and with it out. I have it in. It's underneath the TV mount. It's not as I don't know, built as the Volvo 780, but I don't know, I like it. I like being able to swivel out, but I hardly ever use it that way. I mean, I use it, don't get me wrong. I put my coffee maker on it. William Worthington, what's up? Pale Rider's not here. Let's talk about him. Why isn't Pale Rider here? Oh, there he is. David Rubin, I'm at home now working through the insurance, have an attorney involved. Well, best of luck to you, David. It only takes 1 second for things to come crashing down, man. That's for sure. No, she's... Oh, okay. Everybody's doing chores except for me. Technology in the truck, tablets, smartphones are great to make our jobs easier. I just don't understand that drivers that use a full tablet as a GPS or worse watch movies while driving. Frank, I'll agree with you there. I've seen guys with those portable DVD players watching going down the road. And there was a guy, I think 4 or 5 years ago, he was watching DVDs of the adult variety going down the road. He said he was doing it to stay awake. He ended up creaming a whole family in a minivan or something like that. He killed a couple of people because he just smacked right into him. And that was his excuse. They found out that through his paper logs and everything, he'd been up for 24 hours straight. So, Michael P., what's up? Take a guess. Jim is referring to the tables couch conversation battle that happened recently between Matt and Will. Brent, I kind of wondered about if something was going on because of the new T-shirts that Will's coming out with, and like I said, when they're doing vlogs, I watch them. But all the back and forth stuff, I don't do that. I mean, it just... There's always that war of words between people with Volvos and people with, classic trucks. There's fleet trucks versus classic trucks. And in the end, it's just, what are you looking for? I mean, there are people that look at Volvos, as the greatest luxury truck you can get, and there are people that see Volvos as something that's, they don't like. So it's kind of like, one time on the CB radio, someone said the only real trucks were Kenworths, Peterbilts, and Macs. Everything else was garbage. Then I pointed out that Mac was made by Volvo. And that guy got kind of upset with me, so. Oh, is there a season 3 trailer for Stranger Things? I haven't even watched 2 yet.
I haven't even finished watching 1.
When did it become cool to not get good miles per gallon, Pale Rider? I don't know. I think that's a backlash between... I think what that is there were so many people that told Will that he was making a mistake by getting that older truck because it wasn't going to get good fuel mileage. And the numbers have been put out there of how much money you can save by getting good fuel mileage. But it's obvious he didn't get the truck for fuel mileage. So I think what that is that that's a big FU to all the people that are telling him that he should have stayed with the Volvo that got good fuel mileage. And so, what else do you expect? I mean, if a lot of his haters say, "Hey, you made a mistake by getting this truck that he's always wanted," of course he's going to fight back. And to me, I don't really care. You know, if Will's happy with his truck, cool. You know, I imagine the payments on that Kenworth is a lot lower than that Volvo. So, you know. Screaming Demon. DOT catch that action, someone will be getting a huge ticket if not yanked off the road. Screaming Demon. In Springfield, there's a DOT cop that sits on the cloverleaf where 65 and 44 meet. Okay? And around exit 82, I believe, is what the exit is. And I remember I got passed by a car hauler that had his DVD player right there, and right there in the windshield. And I noticed that the DOT cop either didn't see it or wasn't paying attention, but he just drove right on by him. You know. Pale Rider, when rates went up, the new people don't realize rates are going to drop. They don't know their numbers. The rates have been a big topic of discussion here lately. Natas, what's up? Frank Ropro. Plus, nowadays, slick lawyers can and most probably get a copy of your cell phone carrier, the usage. Any cell phone carrier that can provide a detailed list of what you're doing on your phone. That's why I don't recommend these live feeds while driving, because nothing may happen at that moment, but in the future, if something was to happen, they can go, "Oh, look at this dude's history," and that could turn into an ugly thing. So that's why I've never done a live feed while driving. Oh, okay, Big Rich. It's not a... Okay. And Gallagher, Stu Manchu. The debate will always go on, right, Demon? It's... I love classic trucks. And I love getting good fuel mileage. There's 1,000 different ways you could have a truck. There's 1,000 different setups you can have. And if what you're doing works for you, then that's fine. If a person that has a classic truck is going broke because they're putting too much money in the truck and they're spending too much money on the fuel, then they make adjustments. And if they don't figure out what adjustments they need to make, that's on them. Just like a new fleet truck can create all kinds of problems in and of itself. I guarantee that a W9, a 2005 or something like that, is cheaper to fix with a CAT. It's cheaper to fix than a Volvo 780. So if his payments are lower and he's not going to spend thousands of dollars every time he goes in the shop because it's a computer issue, you know, maybe that's where, you know, it should balance it out, you know. If he's doing a lot of high-paying loads that are short haul, then the fuel mileage won't matter. So, no, this is what it is. I decided to try that. It's okay. I've been a member of the More Money Than Brains Club before, Little Viking Coach. Either go with image, wants, or so on from your perspective, then you have a tool to dump after it gets expensive to run. The other's a medley of the two. Guys, trucks are a depreciating asset. the show trucks that you see, like at the Guilty by Association truck show and places like that, I love looking at them. It'd be cool to have one, but I'd be scared to death to work one because, like what Thor does, I don't know if I could work a show truck every day. You know, a show truck is just for shows. Then you want to get a working truck for work. That's my opinion. And so, a lot of people try to find the balance. Like, okay, I want my truck to look good, but it's also a tool. You know, you take pride in your ride, but you don't. You know, you don't want to spend all your money on chrome and accessories and everything. I believe the person that we've talked about has bragged about how much money he's spent on polishing. Now, if he wants to spend his money on polishing, that's fine. And I get it, because I need to polish my wheels. But with some new steers in my future and some maintenance coming up, you know, it's not on the priority list. So, do I want to get my wheels polished? Yeah. I did wash the truck, but there's a function to that because I still had wintertime salt on there. So that kind of helps clean that. You know, you don't want your truck to be rusty, or, you know, you want it to look good to the point that you don't capture the attention of DOT. In other words, you know, you don't want, in my opinion, okay, you don't want a rattle trap. You want to take pride in your ride. You want a clean truck because it reflects you, it reflects your company. Even if you buy a $15,000 FLD or something like that, you know, make it nice, shine it up, you know, but, you know, use that lack of a payment to make your money, you know. James DeJong, what's up? Alex Express, good talking to you the other day. Big Road Little Truck, how are you? Will Burke. Benjamin Duke, yeah, but there's a company out of Oklahoma, I think they're called Accord, and all their trucks are show quality, chromed out, custom built tractor trailers. And I don't think I see those guys leave the state of Oklahoma or Kansas. And I walked up to one of those guys and said, man, it must be hard keeping up a truck like this. He goes, yeah. And he told me he was a company driver. So the company decks him out like that. And what that tells me is that if they're still in business and they're doing well, then that tells me that their freight that they're hauling, that liquid tank freight, is paying really good. That they can afford to do that. Just like there are people that use trucks as tools to lease it, and there are people that like want to keep the truck and pay it off. Everybody does it different. So I'm not one to judge Will on him getting a W9, and I'm not one to judge Matt to get a brand new Volvo. I mean, you know, I just what they do does not affect me. I have respect for both those guys, and obviously they're doing their business way different. And see, what you guys fail to understand, or maybe you do understand, is that there is a war between Will and Woody. People don't like Woody for some reason, and I don't understand why. So that's where the RST crap comes from. You know, and what it is there's this maelstrom of insults and back and forth that a lot of these guys are in, and I refuse to get sucked into it because what they do doesn't affect me. I don't care how Woody runs, you know, his lease trucks at RST. I don't care if Will gets, you know, a different truck. I like Will's truck and I like Matt's truck. They're both nice trucks. They serve different purposes and they have different numbers and they have different, you know, they run their businesses differently. So why should I be concerned about that? You know? I know what I need. I know what my numbers I need. I know I take pride in my truck. But I'm not going to sit there and criticize anybody else for what they do. Truckers YouTube info, what's up? Love the classics, but I don't want to maintain it or feed it. Right, Pros. If I wanted to go that route, I would get an old cab over. I think my dream truck would be the same truck my dad had, and that would be a Peterbilt 362 with the triple windshield wipers, with a cat in it. That's the truck I want. You know, fix it up and run it for shows. That's what a classic truck is to me. Yes, it is. Roscoe. Shadow Wolf. I was waiting for you to call me, man. Holler at me tomorrow, man. We'll hang out. We'll meet up somewhere. Not too long though. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, so I got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. Alcast had an awesome video talking specifically about that. You buy and drive the truck that you can afford to drive. There you go. Chrome don't get higher rates. James is on. Right. To me, I've got the chrome wheel covers. I wash my truck. I take pride on it, but at the same time, I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of stuff that just adds weight to the truck. It makes it look cooler because eventually I know I'm going to get rid of it. And you know, there's a couple of things I want to buy that I don't necessarily need but would be useful. Like I want to get one of those side toolboxes in place of the steps on the other side from the APU. If I lose a wheel nut, a lug nut cover, then I buy it. You know, I replace it. You know, I don't just let it fall apart. But I'm not going to sit there and like struggle to pay for my fuel but still buy chrome. I mean, you know, it's just, you know, I'm not saying that's what other people are doing, but it's been known to happen. Chrome looks faster. Big Rich, you're always adding value to my live feeds. Kevin Rutherford has stated from the profit gauges general information data, the older one maintenance cost is $15 to $20 per mile, but fuel is higher. The 2015 newer is $25, but 30 fuel cost is lower. Right, so it kind of just depends on what you want. Now, I don't think I would own a W9 simply because of the comfort level. I mean, I had a T660 which has the same cab, and I hated that truck. For a fat man in a 660, it doesn't work real well. I love the room I have in my 680. When I first wanted to buy a truck, the 680s weren't in the used market yet, and I loved it. I love those trucks. I had one at Transland. And so I'd settled for something else. I got the Peterbilt 387, which is nice, big, airy, but I just didn't like the shelving. Had that truck had a more, you know, that truck got to the point where it was nickel and diming me to death. So once I got to Kenworth, I knew my costs went, you know, my payments were lower, my costs per mile were lower, because that Peterbilt, if you combine the truck payments and the maintenance payments, it was as much as the Snyder Finance truck. Except I didn't have the comfort, I didn't have the warranty, didn't have the APU. So that was a problem to me, so I fixed it. So Sam Jenkins, what's up? TMC always looks good too. TMC is very, very particular about their trucks. They're just now getting into the fleet trucks, but yeah, they had the 579s or the 379s for forever. That was kind of, but they run flatbed. So their freight is paying a little bit higher, and they were all about a professional image. And in the flatbed, you're going to see more, in my opinion, you see more flatbeds, or you see more 379s and W9s in the flatbed world, or in the tanker world, or in, a lot of them are pulling reefers or bull wagons. When it comes to generic, general dry van freight, get a fleet truck that gets the best fuel mileage. Jim Jarena says DOT would give a neglected looking trucker going over with a fine-tooth comb. They do. However, if they're just wanting to get their quota up and they don't want to really get dirty, they'll pick a new truck because they know it'll pass. I've been inspected, search is a bad word, more times with a brand new truck than I ever did with an older truck. Mr. Berger, what's up? BNS Logistics. James. What he doesn't bash, though, does his own thing. Right. Like I said, it's funny. A lot of the YouTubers I watch have little wars with each other, but I watch all of them, But it's getting to the point now that my notifications on YouTube coming in like crazy, and I very rarely watch anybody now because it's tiring, And the YouTube crowd can be vicious, man. Look at the situation with Trucker Rudy. That was, that's getting ugly. What Trucker Rudy's going through. So, and I've almost quit YouTube a couple of times because of trolls. So. Right, Screaming Demon, I agree. Probably the revenue on the freight pay good, but also they draw revenue from other sources, magazine ads or commercials. Right, and there are some, I know at Landstar there were some accounts that you can get on that they wanted you to have a nice truck, like some of the show circuits. Like if you're hauling equipment for ESPN or NASCAR, camera equipment for those production companies, they don't want you coming in with the rattle trap. They want to make sure that you're driving a clean, newer truck that is reliable because, if you're on the ESPN team doing Monday Night Football and you're the one hauling the extra camera equipment that's not on the regular trucks, you can't be breaking down, I think the deal with Woody is that he expresses opinions. Agent Orange says Woody's a good dude. In my book, he's doing his own thing. That's his deal. But sometimes he'll say stuff that I disagree with, like his stance on factoring. I completely disagree with him. And, I do this weird thing that if a YouTuber says something I don't agree with, I don't say anything. I keep my mouth shut. I don't get involved. Because me commenting to Woody that he's wrong on factoring is not going to change his mind. Me doing a video about factoring is not going to change his mind. He is doing things his way, so therefore, that's Woody's channel. I don't agree with some of the stuff he says. I don't agree with some of the stuff that everybody says. But again, his business model is different from mine. I happen to like the factoring aspect that we use. And in today's world, you kind of need that It's not just about, oh, you don't have enough capital to, wait for your pay. Well, no, if there's no need to wait for your pay, then, why not go through a factoring company to, reduce the risk? And Jeff's explained that, you know. You got to decide what you want to do, and then see how it works from your decisions. It's good to follow to see how they do if the info is honestly represented. Right. Benjamin, I come across a lot of videos that I'm just like, man, the information's wrong, or this guy's obviously new, or I don't know if I agree with that, because every single person runs different. It's the same with any business. You can have 5 restaurant owners and they'll tell you 5 different things. Trucking is a business. Even as a company driver, people run differently. Some people like dedicated. Some people like to run 3,600 miles a week and take 34s on the road. And other people want to work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Some people know how to talk to their dispatcher. Some people don't. Some people are, good representations of their company, and other people aren't. So it's all different. It's all noise, man. And you got to focus on the things that you want. You got to focus on what's going to work for you. So a lot of people disagree. Well, I'm not going to say a lot of people. There are many people that disagree. Well, that's the same thing. There are people, let's just say that. There are people that disagree that running the short game, like what Jeff preaches, is not the best way to make money. But there are people that swear that doing coast-to-coast runs is the best way to make money. And I have no problem with that. I make my money with the short haul game, like Jeff has suggested. I can run long haul if I want, but Jeff gave me a method that allows me to make more money per mile and less wear and tear on the truck. So, Shadow Wolf, I run a working show truck. It's a pain in the backside to keep it right. Shadow Wolf, I hear you, man. That would be difficult because, especially you've had a couple of wrecks, not wrecks, but like trucks hitting you. And I would just be paranoid, because you spend all that money on chrome and spend all those hours cleaning it, and then some, lame driver comes in and wipes you out. It's hard to have nice things, I would be all paranoid about that. The only wrong plan is one that puts you out of business. If your freight pays you enough to get what you want, right? Thor quit smoking. Good for him. Looking at getting a high-spec Great Dane dry van from Jim Hawk Trailers. Getting smart truck arrow top kit, but need to pick a scale option. Right way or save the money and get the app way. BNS, a couple of the light guys got the right way, and then the other couple of guys got app way. And so I know Jeff's done a first review for Appway. Basically, either one is just basically a suspension gauge for your trailer. And I think that I don't see myself investing in one yet because I want to see how it's working for the light guys. Most of the time when I'm picking a heavy load, it's not oddball stuff. It's going to be something that's standard, 20 pallets, and you put it in the sweet spot and you're good to go. But I can pretty much tell by feel and by looking at how it's loaded and what my suspension gauge says on the tractor, it gives me a good guesstimate. So the only time that using the suspension gauge on the tractor failed me was that I was loaded so heavy on the rear I didn't even realize it. I'm crazy behind on the comments. Would I ever take the full maintenance lease route as advocated by others? Adam Gallagher, yes. It would depend on the payments. It would have to be around the same deal that Jeff's getting on his. Because then the worry of maintenance goes out the door. You know, I could have a $10,000 problem tomorrow. Whereas a full maintenance lease, you're never going to have that problem. You're never going to have that worry. So those surprise, you know, a grand here, a grand there, that's not a big deal. But when you get those big 10,000 ones that you didn't expect, or $5,000 ones you didn't expect, that's when, you know, stress level goes to the roof. So you either want a bunch of money saved up or the full maintenance lease. So it just depends on how well things are going when the Kenworth is close to being paid off, of where I'll be. Oh, cool, BNS. That's good. Okay. No riffing from me tonight, Alex. Let's see. You guys want me to bust out the guitar? Seaburger, me and Snowlord are going to collaborate on an album. I'm going to call it Stay Away from the Zipper. Food Moods Trucker Rudy put out a video, says he's leaving YouTube. He's frustrated with all of it. Frank Ropro says those words are totally fake, only to draw new subs. We all love to watch a train wreck. I'm going to pick a fight with you, Steve. Hair bands are better than heavy metal bands. Frank Ropro. That's funny. This phone in each ear? That's a little excessive. Alright, let's... Back-end billing department for 5% factoring has its advantages. First time broker F's you, you'll wish you factored. Right. See, to factor or not to factor is not even an issue, because Jeff did the best, you know, why you should factor video ever. Right, there you go, Burger. That's why I do my own thing on YouTube. I don't follow the trends. If you like my vids, cool. If you don't, that's okay too. Okay, we're going to go all the way to the end. We're going to miss out on a few comments. So I am way behind. Okay. Am I caught up yet? Alright, there we go. YouTube is fun, but it's kind of hard to put vids out when you're running hard. That's why I don't... For you new YouTubers, don't put yourself on a schedule. Don't sit there and say you got to have a video once a week. Don't have a weekly vlog. Don't have a daily vlog. Unless you're just doing a live feed every day, once a day, just talking about your day. But if you're going to do edited vlog style videos like what Pale Rider does, what I've been known to do, it can seem like work. You know, so I don't have a set schedule. You know, if I got time in the weekend, I'll work on it. Or if I'm sitting for most of the day at a truck stop, I'll work on one, you know, in the truck. But for the most part, I don't sit there and say, well, I've got to get my my weekly vlog out, because when it feels like work, you're not going to want to do it. So what happens is you sit there and say, well, I'm going to do a weekly vlog, and then the 1 week that you missed because your truck was down or because you had to run extra hard, people are going to be like, well, where's our weekly vlog? So don't put yourself on a schedule. I've thought about, well, you're joking with the headbang, but I've thought about doing the GoPro head thing, strap. Carry APU quote with 5-year, 10,000 hour, no deductible install came in after shopping for dealers first. Then close to home, $9,800 out the door. Good deal? Yes, BNS. That's the route I would go. Carriers are cheaper than Thermo Kings because, number one, you don't have to put an inverter on them. You don't have to have a bunk heater for them. It has everything all in one. So that's why they're a little bit cheaper. I believe, Steve Berger's got them, Jeff's got one, I've got one, and Roscoe's getting to get one, getting one.
Woodland Heights Presbyterian.
So, Carrier for me is the way to go. But yeah, it's going to be cheaper. That's a good deal. That's a good deal, BNS. It's about right. Okay. James is paying $10,700. Right, Screaming Name, I agree. I've had 8 trucks, all but one had a Thermo King on it, and they all gave me problems. The Carrier, knock on wood, is not.
Hopefully it'll work out. I'll cross my fingers, but I won't.
Berger paid $9,800 out the door. That's a good deal. Yeah, the cat my wife bought these flowers in for Mother's Day stuff, and the cats keep wanting to mess with them. It just makes it creepy. Rigmaster has been a pain, Zach Robinson. I believe that. Everybody I know that's had a Rigmaster has not liked it. My truck used to have a Rigmaster, because that's what a lot of the Prime guys do, because there's a Rigmaster dealer / shop right here at Exit 88. So a lot of the Prime guys not wanting to pay that big Thermo King money, get those at Prime. So
Bye.
last video I did was I was on Cops. I've been in a little detained since then to do any. Says Screaming Demon. Roscoe James DeJong wants to know who did your financing on your APU. Are you doing the trailer finance? I'd like to get my trailer paid off early if I can, because I'm paying out the yin-yang for financing on that. I get guys asking me about which APU. Glad I learned here that Carrier seems the way to go. I'm sure Daniel Adami might have a different opinion of Carrier because he's had bad luck with his, but I know that, I don't know. The other thing I would advise against is that a used APU, once you take it off the truck, man, it just won't work right. I've never seen good luck with a used APU. Never, never, never. And case in point, my old company, when I first started, the first truck I had about 300,000 miles on it. And they put brand new tri-packs on there when they first came out. And that Tri-Pack worked really good. I could run my microwave, laptop, TV all at the same time. Not have any issues. I never had issues with heat or air. It was a good APU unit. And then Translane got new trucks. So they tried to take the old ones or the used APUs onto the new trucks, and that ended horribly. They always had problems with them at that point. So every time they got new trucks, they just got new APUs put with them. So these places like the two in Springfield that do nothing but used APUs, I've yet to find a person that has had good luck with those. Steve had a good conversation with Jeff yesterday. Awesome. Steve, you ought to call me later, maybe Monday. Tell me all about it. I hope it's what I think it is. BMO is $9.75 for trailer finance. I'm trying to find a better bank. BNS. The reason why I went with BMO is because they offer me a 0% down, and I'm paying for it. But it allowed me at the time to get into a brand new trailer with no investment. So now if I had to sell the trailer tomorrow, that might make it tough. But I'm sure the payoff isn't as high as what the financing is. Yeah, James's job makes a good point. Thermo King, well, yeah, the one that almost burned my truck down. I'm surprised a lot of companies don't use Carrier, and here's why. Because you don't have to have an inverter or a bunk heater, which are the two main things that burn trucks down, to have those running. It's a self-utilizing unit. You don't need the extra stuff. And so there's less things to get wrong. How many of you with bunk heaters have had problems with them? Or every year you got to get them serviced, because that fuel line gets clogged up. You've got basically a little tiny jet engine creating heat, with those bunk heaters. And to me, the Carrier is almost a safer option, because a company can put a Carrier in the truck and not worry about the driver wanting to put an inverter in the truck. And it'll handle, like, if you want a microwave or a skillet, you want to have heavier duty appliances, it'll handle that better than the Thermo King will. Frank says, when buying a truck or APU, you should look at what mega carriers use and why they use it, either mega discount or low maintenance. Full maintenance lease on a Volvo 860, awesome. What about the electric APUs? I have not heard good things about them, Edward. Other than that, I have no experience with them. Is your trailer contract, do you get a reduced price if you pay off early? I noticed I had to put in my last two loans. They wanted the price pay off early, made no difference. To be honest with you, I don't know. Hey Maria, what's up? Alright. Am I caught up yet? Alright. Burger Hattie, a loaner truck with electric APU, it sucked. Park Smart electric APU here, says Provost. Well, how do you like it? Dan Lyons at Nottingham says about 8 hours power is supposed to be, but 11, it works okay. Daniel Adami, I'm going to take your wrench away if you can't calm down. I think that most APUs. Here's a little trick for you guys. Whether you have an electric APU, Carrier, or Thermo King, on a hot summer day, sit there and idle the truck for about 15 minutes and really just crank the sleeper air and the air conditioning in that truck. Just crank it. Just crank it hard, right? And then turn off the truck and go right back to the APU and turn it on. Then it's just going to maintain it. That's a little bit easier than it just trying to build. And then every now and then, maybe after 4 or 5 hours, if you're sitting around all day, maybe do it again. That's what I do. I start my truck up, let it run for 15 minutes, get really cold in there, and then there you go. Same thing with the heat. Get it nice and toasty in there, and then turn it off, and then all the APU's got to do is maintain it. I will say this: my Carrier, when it was like 5 below zero, 10 below zero, I had to wear an extra comforter because the heat just wasn't keeping up. But I could have hooked up a space heater to that truck. I had to close curtains, but then the engine started just like that. It had no problem keeping them fluids warm. Shadow says, I've heard some good stuff about a test solar charged by truck thing, but they're turning it on. Trucks that run in the south, I don't know. Trucks that run in the south, I don't know the name of the thing. James is on. All right, Mr. JSK. You have a good night. So we've talked about how other people are handling their YouTube channels. We talked about why people might have pride in their trucks. We talked about APUs. Benjamin says, what AC unit people use with the Honda generator? I have seen people with the hole cut in the back with the AC on the rack. I don't recommend doing that because you cut up a truck, you're definitely taking the value down. Now, there is a setup out there where, I forget the name of it, I've seen it online, but it's like putting that house generator on the back of your truck, but it's wired directly to where you have a control panel in the back, just like a regular APU. The only thing is it won't generate AC. Now, there's like a portable AC, conditioners that you can use. I don't know what the price of those are. But when you fiddle with this and fiddle with that and trying to get this and trying to get that and cutting holes, by the end of the day, just spend the 10 grand on a new Carrier and you're done. You'll have a warranty. It's professionally installed. And if you have a good reputable shop next to you, then maintenance will be a breeze. So that's just my 2 cents. Trust me, I've done the whole try to rig this up and try to rig that up, and I've dealt with the bad APUs. I've dealt with all that stuff, and I've dealt with idling. And I just, I always hated it that with the Peterbilt, that when it got, I would stay out for the winter. I would stay out like 2 or 3 weeks in a row just to try to make some revenue, but then it'd be so cold that all my extra revenue went up in fuel because I was idling all the time. So And with fuel reaching $4 a gallon, approaching $4 a gallon, that APU is going to save you money. All right, Shadow Wolf, might go live later. Wilbert. No guitar playing tonight. The problem with Idle Air, Frank, is that it wasn't well maintained. So a lot of the existing sites are independently owned now, and they're not maintaining it. So. Shadow Wolf, holler at me tomorrow, and I'll swing by and say hey, kind of what time it is. Oh, okay, Frank, I hear you. I hear you. Sarcasm is hard to read on the text. One of these days I'll put guitar on there, but right now I'm not. Induction oven. I believe that in the Peterbilt there was a point where my APU was running, but the AC wasn't working. So I had like not a box fan, but a pretty decent power fan, and it worked for a while. But I don't know. Tell you what, man, nothing saps your will to live like a bad APU. Been there, done that. So. Now, let's talk about something lighter, okay? Have you guys been watching that new Cobra Kai series on YouTube? How long are you gonna be in town, Shadow Wolf? Because I'll be home Monday too. Yeah, Burger, I agree with you. A scrappy truck will too. If you guys are fans of the Karate Kid movie, then you're gonna like Cobra Kai. Screaming Demon. Cobra Kai rocks. There you go. Edward knows. Wax on. Little Mike Coach, I liked your bus video. That was, man, you stumbled on that one, dude. You stumbled on that opportunity, and you took it. You saw the opportunity, and you grabbed it. Benjamin Duke, 34-hour reset, easy, $125 a week. That would put an APU on a truck for half in 1 year with high fuel prices. I've always thought that if you have to do a 34 on the road and you don't have an APU, I think that a hotel could be a good option because you'll save money in the long run versus idling and fuel. You get a shower, you get a better bed than the bunk, and watch TV and have free internet. Woody jammed the other night. We won a YouTube Rock Jam session. Wilbert, the best guitar player in the YouTube world is actually Steve Berger. Frank says Cobra Kai is good. I've been refusing to watch it based on the lack of originality. The writers are doing something unique with it, Frank. It's not just like they're giving you multiple sides to the multiple stories of the show, of the original movie. It's not just a, hey, let's rehash our 80s kind of crap that comes out. It is, the writers are doing something brilliant with it. So I agree with you, Demon. Okay, so when I bought my truck, that's the first thing that the dealer asked me. He said, "Are you planning on putting an APU on your truck?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Good," because these trucks hate to idle. A 10-hour break here and there is not a big deal, but he said that what will hurt a lot of guys is you'll idle for a 34, and then you run 100 miles, and then you're done for the week, or you're done for a while, or you don't run enough the next couple of days to kind of burn all that off. That is where you run into problems. I need a new mattress. I'm supposed to be going to GATS. I'm planning on going to GATS. I might have a couple opportunities at GATS, so I'm making it a priority go. And it's not a problem for me to get to Texas. And I'm definitely going to be looking at mattresses when I get there, because mine sucks. You know, when you're a fat guy like me, you have to pretty much buy a new mattress once every couple of years. And the mattress that I have is this memory foam thing that's just not great after you've been sitting in it too long. It's the mattresses that Prime puts in their trucks. And I know that they repurpose their own mattresses, or they used to at least. And I don't know, yeah, I'm not digging it. So a new mattress is in my future. You can sleep on the ground. Do you have any videos of your band, Snorlord? Yes. Go to my old channel. There's a channel called Snorlord's Old Channel. And there's some apnea stuff on there. I think. Could be wrong. I have a bunch of video footage from years ago that I need to put on the DVD. Yeah, I agree, Shadow Wolf. Steve Berger says, "I'll sell you my match just for $40K. I'll throw in the rest of the truck for free." That's the one I got, Frank. I got the memory foam mattress, the ones with the blue covers. But I think it's just worn out. It is, the mattress I got is the best mattress I've had in the truck. You need two. You need two of them? Now, is that sarcasm, Frank? Have I checked out Brad James yet? No. Big Rig mattress, the way to go. I might try that two mattress deal. I did buy one of those memory foam toppers. That seems to help. Huh. I had a custom made. It's great. I'll dig up the phone number for you if I can find it. That'd be cool. Shadow Wolf. I'm sorry I'm having bad luck with your truck, Burger. Is your truck fixed yet, by the way? Are you rolling yet? Seeing a trucker? Oh, okay. Memory foam topper here works great. Yeah, I've got one of those. I like Frank's idea, though. That intrigues me. If I just get a second one of what I got, maybe that'll be cool. I don't know. I sleep pretty decently in my truck. The only thing I don't like is I really don't have a good place for my CPAP machine. Just got back today. Okay, I hear you, Frank. I might look into that. Try it before you throwing away the one you got. Okay, that's a good idea. I need to get one for the top bunk as well. Little Bike Coach says, be on the lookout for the St. Christopher's Fund CD on sale at the TA Petro. Good driving music. Good weekend live, Steve. Have to sleep, run hard since still at SFI for a few more weeks. Need to listen to 6 Hour Live while driving at 4 a.m. James, now you all Venus. Now, Burger, there is one more good memory in your truck. That's when we did that live feed with the Jason Mask and Dan the Sandman. Charge me $1,000 for the free advice. All right, Shadow, will get a hold of me later. You fell asleep to change the speed. Yeah, it's funny. I was in the kitchen helping with some chores, and this morning while Roscoe was doing his live feed, and of course I'm not gonna sit there and watch it the whole time. No offense, Mr. James, but you know how it is. And I go back and check, and that thing went for 3 hours. That was classic YouTube, wasn't it, Burger? The only one who didn't like it was your wife. She thought it was not a great video. Next Gen, how's it going? So, alrighty, guys. We're going to end this video. This has been a good live. Guess what? We'll keep it up. And I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate everybody's positive remarks. And I'll be back on the road Tuesday. So take it easy. See you later. Be good to each other, man. Life's too short to be crappy to each other. All right? Later.